Few stars have ever burned as brightly or as wildly as Jim Carrey. From his electric energy on In Living Color to unforgettable performances in The Mask, Ace Ventura, and The Truman Show, Carrey wasn't just funny, he was unstoppable. For years, he made the world laugh louder than anyone else. But behind those wild expressions and big smiles was a man quietly fighting darkness that few could imagine. At 63, Jim Carrey's story has taken a heartbreaking turn, one that shows the heavy cost of fame and the pain of pretending to be happy when you're not. To the world, he was the eternal clown, a human cartoon who could twist his face and body into anything. But when the lights went out, Jim was left alone with thoughts that grew heavier over the years. Before Hollywood knew him as the rubber-faced king of comedy, Jim Carrey was just a kid from Ontario with a dream and a struggling family. His father, Percy, a talented saxophonist, gave up his dreams for stability, but when that fell apart, the Carreys were thrown into poverty. There were nights Jim slept in a van and mornings spent cleaning factory floors before school. That hardship shaped everything about him, the humor, the energy, and the desperate need to make people laugh, even when he was breaking inside. By his late teens, Jim's gift for impressions became his lifeline. He spent hours in front of a mirror, turning pain into laughter. His stand-up routines earned him attention in Toronto, and soon he was performing in Los Angeles. But success didn't come easy. Rejection, failed auditions, and endless self-doubt almost broke him until In Living Color changed everything. His outrageous characters made him a star overnight, and when Ace Ventura, Pet Detective hit theaters in 1994, Jim Carrey became one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Yet even at the height of his fame, something inside him felt empty. Those who knew him said he could shift from wild laughter to deep silence in seconds. The world saw a comedic genius, but behind the scenes was a man haunted by loneliness and exhaustion. By the mid-1990s, Jim Carrey was unstoppable. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls made him the first actor ever to earn $20 million per film. But while Hollywood celebrated him, fame was slowly consuming him. The pressure to always be funny, the lack of privacy, the isolation, it all took its toll. Then came roles like The Truman Show and Man on the Moon, where Jim began using his art to search for truth. But the deeper he went, the harder it became to separate himself from the pain of his characters. Playing Andy Kaufman pushed him to the edge. He later admitted he felt like he lost himself completely. Through the 2000s, his career stayed strong, but his spirit began to fade. Behind the laughter, Jim battled crippling depression. Friends said he withdrew from the spotlight, spending more time alone and reflecting on life, death, and the illusion of fame. "I think everybody should get rich and famous," he once said, "so they can see that it's not the answer." Then, in 2015, tragedy struck. The death of his former girlfriend, Catriona White, left Jim heartbroken and under intense public scrutiny. The man who once made millions laugh was now drowning in grief. Instead of chasing another comeback, he turned inward, painting, meditating, and searching for peace through art and philosophy. His colorful paintings became his therapy, his way of understanding everything: fame, loss, and loneliness. Jim began speaking about ego and identity, saying that Jim Carrey was just a persona, an illusion. For him, peace became more important than applause. He retreated from Hollywood, trading red carpets for quiet days in his studio, surrounded by canvases instead of cameras. Today, Jim Carrey lives a simple, solitary life, far from the chaos of Hollywood. He no longer chases fame or recognition. In one interview, he said softly, "I used to be a guy who was trying to make the world laugh. Now I just want to be still enough to hear what life's trying to tell me." For someone who once embodied energy and laughter, his stillness now says even more. The man who gave the world so much joy has finally found something greater than success, peace. Jim Carrey's story isn't just about fame or tragedy. It's about a man who gave everything to make others happy, only to discover that true happiness comes from letting go. He once said, "I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough." And maybe that's the greatest lesson of all. You can have everything in the world and still lose yourself, but if you find peace, you found it all.